Conflict resolution, choosing peace over winning. Conflict is a test of character. Conflict is something every one of us will experience. It doesn't matter how kind you are, how patient you try to be, or how much you care about another person. At some point, there will be misunderstandings, disagreements, hurt feelings, or different opinions. The question isn't whether conflict will come, the question is how we will respond when it does. Some people immediately become defensive, others shut down and refuse to talk. Still others allow anger to take control until words are spoken that cannot be taken back. The truth is that conflict does not have to destroy relationships. When handled with wisdom, honesty, and respect, it can actually strengthen trust and create a better understanding between people. Listening before you try to be heard. One of the greatest mistakes people make during an argument is listening only long enough to prepare their next response. They are waiting for the other person to stop talking so they can explain why they are right. That approach rarely solves anything because neither person feels understood. Good communication begins with listening. Give the other person an opportunity to explain what they are thinking without interrupting. You may not agree with everything they say, but understanding their point of view is different from agreeing with it. Listening carefully often reveals that the real issue is much deeper than the words being spoken. When people know they have truly been heard, they usually become less defensive. Their voices softens, their emotions settle, and meaningful conversation becomes possible. Respectful listening is one of the most powerful tools available in conflict resolution because it communicates value. Every person wants to know that their thoughts and feelings matter. When you give someone your full attention, you create an environment where solutions become easier to find. Keep your emotions under control. Emotions are real, but they should never become the leader of our decisions. Anger has a way of making temporary problems become permanent wounds. Words spoken in frustration often leave scars that remain long after the disagreement is ended. Before responding, take a moment to slow your thoughts. A calm mind makes wiser decisions than an angry one. That does not mean ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing the right time, the right words, the right attitude. Sometimes walking away for a few minutes is the smartest decision you can make. It gives both people an opportunity to calm down before continuing the discussion. Self-control is not weakness. It's one of the clear signs of maturity. Attack the problem, not the person. Many disagreements become worse because people stop discussing the issue and begin attacking each other. Instead of talking about the problem, they criticize personalities, bring up old mistakes, or make unfair accusations. Statements such as, "You always do this," or "You never care," usually close the door to productive conversations. Instead, focus on the specific issue that needs attention. Explain how the situation affected you without trying to tear down the other person's character. Speak honestly, but also respectfully. A relationship has a much better chance of surviving when both people work together against the problem instead of against each other. Solving problems requires cooperation, not competition. Learn the value of humility. Pride has ended countless conversations, marriages, and family relationships. Many people refuse to admit that they were wrong because they believe apologizing makes them appear weak. The opposite is true. It takes strength to admit a mistake and ask for forgiveness. A sincere apology is not about losing. It is about valuing the relationship enough to accept responsibility for your actions. Humility also allows you to consider that you may not have all the answers. Every disagreement has more than one perspective. Even if you believe you are mostly right, there are often something you could have handled differently. Growth begins when we become willing to learn from our mistakes instead of defending them. Forgiveness opens the door to healing. Not every conflict will end with complete agreement, but many relationships can still be restored through forgiveness. Forgiveness does not erase what happens, nor does it excuse harmful behavior. It simply means refusing to allow bitterness to control your future. Holding on to resentment often causes more damage than the original disagreement. Forgiveness is sometimes a process rather than a single decision. Trust may need to be rebuilt over time, especially when the hurt has been deep. Even so, choosing to let go of hatred creates room for peace, healing, and hope. It allows both people to move forward instead of remaining trapped by the past. Build better relationships one conversation at a time. Healthy relationships are not built because people never disagree. They are built because people learn how to handle disagreement with honesty, patience, and respect. Every difficult conversation is an opportunity to grow in wisdom and strengthen the bond between people who generally care about one another. The next time conflict appears in your life, remember that winning the argument is not always the greatest victory. Sometimes the greatest victory is protecting the relationship while finding a solution that both people can accept. That kind of conflict resolution requires effort, humility, and self-control, but the reward is lasting peace and stronger relationships that can survive the challenges of everyday life. I'm Resample. Remember, truth don't change, just straight talk.